Yasu Malagedon. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Spider. You know, a while ago I was taking a shit, and like a lot of people, just sitting on the bowl, you just wonder about your life, and it gives you time to think. And I think to myself, I'm very lucky to have this podcast, and I enjoy doing this podcast a lot. And then I look to my left, and then I look to my right, and what do I see on the cold bathroom floor? A spider. And it's just looking at me. I assume it's looking at me. I mean, there's nothing else to do in my bathroom. And I start looking at him. And he's frozen. So am I. I'm just about to get up and clean up, and I think to myself, does the spider know who I am? Does the spider recognize me? Has he been in my apartment for a couple days or even a couple years? Does he plan on attacking me while I sleep? Is he gonna crawl into my nose or crawl into my ear and just finally take me out and start picking at my brain or what's left of it? And I don't know, you wonder, I mean, how much does a spider actually know about you? The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed that spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. I'm assuming this is their anthem. It's a beautiful little poem. And you gotta wonder, does the spider even know about this poem? What does a spider know? With all those eyes, all those legs, it's insane if you think about it. And you will go insane. But just keep in mind, guys, it's just a spider. Or is it? No, it's just a spider. But again, we watch all these movies and we hear all this folklore about killer spiders out there. In the end, it's just an insect trying to survive. If anything, when I see a spider in my apartment, for the most part, I try not to kill it. It does piss me off sometimes that it does get to live rent-free, but at the same time, it helps kill other bugs. So if I see something between the counter and the fridge, and God only knows how many times I've been to the fridge, but I think to myself, a spider has to work its ass off to eat. So I'm like, you know what? Let it go. Let it make its cool little web, trap some other bugs in there that I don't want to kill. Let him do it. It's great for the garden too. If you're a gardener, ask my dad, Dr. Greenthumb. It is one of the best things to have. It helps kill other bugs. So why do spiders get such a bad reputation? Every time you see these weird movies, they're always killing people and just going nuts. And by golly, I think that's wrong. It's a very bad depiction of a creature that is very misunderstood. But enough about my soliloquy of spiders. Let's really get into this. So, with the help of Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, thank God it's free because I would never use it. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? But let's look more into the wonderful world of a spider. Again, I feel bad for the spider because it's trapped in the bathroom when I'm taking a shit, and if it has that extra, sensitive smell. Anyways, spiders order arane. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking through this already. There's going to be a shit ton of words that I just cannot pronounce, and I don't have time to edit all this. So you're just going to have to bear with me here, okay? I don't, I'm not the best reader in the world, you know? I've been told I have a good voice, but, you know, a perfect voice for radio. But just bear with me. That's all I ask. Thank you. Are air-breathing arthropods that have 8 legs, Chelicerae, wow. One day I'm going to take a reading course, with fangs generally able to inject venom, and spinnerets that extrude silk. They are the largest order of arachnins and rank 7th in total species diversity among all orders of organisms. So they're not racist. That's good. Spiders are found worldwide on every continent except for Antarctica and have become established in nearly every habitat, with the exceptions of air and sea colonization. As of May 2021, at least 49,800 spider species in 129 families have been recorded by taxonomists. However, there has been dissension within the scientific community as to how all these families should be classified, as evidenced by the over 20 different classifications that have been proposed since 1900. So, in other words, they're trying to say is there's so many fucking spiders out there, so many different kinds, so many different looks, so many different species of this awesome insect. They have no idea how the fuck to group these guys. Okay? Like I said, it's close to 50,000 species. That is a shit ton of spiders. But at the same time, I am still scared of these little fuckers. Why? Because they're small. They can move quick. I'm a big guy. I can never move quick anyway, but still, they scare the shit out of me. Do I have arachnophobia? We're going to get to that in a little bit, but I probably do. Anatomically, spiders, as with all arachnins, I'm going to learn how to say that word one day, not now, differ from other arthropods in that the usual body segments are fused into 2 tagmata, the prosoma or cephalothorax and opisthosoma or abdomen, and joined by a small cylindrical pentacle. However, as there is currently neither paleontological nor embryological evidence that spiders ever had a separate thorax-like division, there exists an argument against the validity of the term cephalothorax, which means fused cephalon head and the thorax. Of course it does. Similarity, arguments can be formed against use of the term abdomen, as the opisthosoma, I said it with a Greek accent for some reason, of all spiders contains a heart and respiratory organs atypical of an abdomen. Unlike insects, spiders do not have antennae in all except the most primitive group, the Mesotheliae. Again, I don't know. Does it sound better in Greek, or I don't know? Spiders have the most centralized nervous system of all arthropods. as all their ganglia are fused into one mass in the cephalothorax. Unlike most arthropods, spiders have no extensor muscles in their limbs and instead extend them by hydraulic pressure. Fascinating. Now, what's also really fascinating is me laying in bed. No, not so much me actually laying in bed, but a lot of times I do like to lay in bed because I'm pretty lazy. But then you look up and then you see a spider on a wall. And a lot of times you're not sure if it's a spider. I mean, for the most part, you can tell a spider from a speck of dust, but sometimes you're waking up, your vision is a little cloudy, and you can't tell specifically if it's just a bullshit mark on the wall or a spider ready to attack you. And this was the case in many moments of my life. I looked up and I had to look at it for a very long time, and then finally it did move. It made the first move, which I assume a lot of spiders do. But again, this is because one, I'm an idiot and clearly can't read. Two, because I watched way too many movies thinking that these spiders have another agenda. They just want to attack something, or in this case, me. But they don't. They just want to carry on with their day. So again, guys, if you see a spider on the ceiling, just let it go. I mean, chances are it's looking for a tasty fly or maybe probably a tasty fly. But, just let it go. It's not all about you. Their abdomens bear appendages that have been modified into spinnerets and extrude silk from up to 6 types of glands. Spider webs vary widely in size, shape, and the amount of sticky thread used. Now, I know what we're all thinking, okay? Or at least the immature guys out there. They need this shit to survive, okay? So whatever, jokes you saw on Family Guy about Spider-Man shooting his load way too quick, grow up. It now appears that the spiral orb web may be one of the earliest forms, and spiders that produce tangled cobwebs are more abundant and diverse than orb web spiders. Spider-like arachnids with silk producing spigots appeared in the Devonian period about 386 million years ago. But these animals apparently lacked spinnerets. True spiders have been found in carbon fibrous rocks from 318 to 299 million years ago and are very similar to the most primitive surviving suborder, the Mesothelea. I'm going to learn how to say that one day, don't worry. The main groups of modern spiders, Jesus, the tough words just keep coming, eh? Okay. Megalomorphae and Araneomorphae, all right, first appeared in the Triassic period, before 200 million years ago. The species Bagriera kiplingii was described as herbivorous in 2008, but all the other known species are predators, mostly preying on insects and on other spiders, although a few large species also take birds and lizards. Holy shit. Can you imagine that, like a fucking spider like attacking a bird or a lizard? I mean, holy fuck. That's good. That's crazy, man. I mean, up north, like my parents have a cat, Johnny. What's up, buddy? And like they always say, oh, you got to keep an eye on Johnny. He's old. Like a bird can swoop by and just pick him up. I'm like, no fuck. First of all, the bird's got to be, on steroids to lift up this cat. No offense, Johnny. I love you. I don't want to fat shame you, but again, I mean, like, what if, like, like a big spider came by? I mean, it is, cottage country, and it could happen. I mean, again, we see these movies and we get in our heads that spiders are these, big, freakish, crazy beings, that are like mini dinosaurs that, can just take over the world. So we don't know, man. I mean, I definitely don't. It is estimated that the world's 25 million tons of spiders kill 400 to 800 million tons of prey per year. Spiders use a wide range of strategies to capture prey, trapping it in its sticky webs, lassoing it with sticky bolas, mimicking the prey to avoid detection. That's a good one. Or running it down. See, again, if you get chased by a spider, I mean, like, again, I'm a big dude. Worst case scenario, I'll fucking step on the motherfucker. But again, if it's too fast, I mean, what if it jumps on my leg? Again, way too many movies. Most detect prey mainly by sensing vibrations. Feel the vibration. But the active hunters have acute vision, and hunters of the genus Portia show signs of intelligence in their choice of tactics and ability to develop new ones. Spiders' guts are too narrow to take solids. Oh, they've never enjoyed a beautiful bowl of pasta. I'm sorry. So they liquefy their food by flooding it with digestive enzymes. Yummy. They also grind food with the basis of their pedipalps, as arachnids do not have the mandibles that crustaceans and insects have. Well, that's what I've been saying all along, guys. I mean, like, when's the last time you saw a spider with a Colgate smile? Exactly. I don't think they have teeth. How are you going to enjoy again, I'm going to go back to the pasta. How do you enjoy that without having teeth? I mean, you could slurp it up, but you're not going to, enjoy it as much, with the extra cheese. It's not worth it. So, they eat their shit and then it breaks down, some kind of acid shit in their stomach, and there you go, I mean, can you imagine that, like, having that kind of metabolism, but you can't, like, enjoy, like, good amounts of food? Fuck. To avoid being eaten by their females. That's a bad thing? Which are typically much larger. Again, that's a bad thing? Male spiders identify themselves to potential mates by a variety of complex courtship rituals. Oh, this ought to be good. Males of most species survive a few matings, don't we all? Limited by mainly their short life spans. Females weave silk egg cases, each of which may contain hundreds of eggs. Females of many species care for their young, for example, by carrying them around or by sharing food with them. A minority of species are social, building communal webs that may house anywhere from a few to 50,000 individuals. Beat that, Octomom. Social behavior ranges from precarious toleration, as in the widow spiders, to cooperative hunting and food sharing. Although most spiders live for at most 2 years, tarantulas and other, here we go, mygalomorph, I got it, okay, gold star. Spiders can live up to 25 years in captivity. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? We're not that much different from spiders. You know, the guys have to watch out for the women, and the women have to watch out for the guys. You know, it's a give and take. That's all. You know, I've heard stories that the Black Widow can obviously just kill a male spider after sex. You know, but what guy doesn't have that fear? You know, I mean, just come on. If we work together, you know, we have a good night afterwards. You know, order a pizza, watch a movie. You know, that's all we need. That's it. Let's just keep things simple. That's it. You know, you know, I'm not after your eggs, and I just want to have a good time. That's all. While the venom of a few species is dangerous to humans, scientists are now researching the use of spider venom in medicine and as non-polluting pesticides. Spider silk provides a combination of lightness, strength, and elasticity that is superior to that of synthetic materials. And spider silk genes have been inserted into mammals and plants to see if these can be used as silk factories. As a result of their wide range of behaviors, spiders have become common symbols in art and mythology, symbolizing various combinations of patience, cruelty, and creative powers. An irrational fear of spiders is called arachnophobia. Man. I'm going to get into that movie in a little bit, but let me share another beautiful story with you guys. As you guys have clearly figured out, my 3 fans out there, thank you for your support as always. I tend to work security. And sometimes when you work a midnight shift, you get to know your surroundings a little bit more. Especially when, you know, they say the freaks come out at night. But I'm not saying spiders are freaks, but to us, they just look a little bit different. So I was sitting in a fairly comfortable desk chair. And, you know, of course, you know, being in security, you tend to get a little sleepy during those night shifts. And I just decided to recline back a little bit, just to get a little bit more comfortable. And of course, my beautiful, horrible timing, which is my security life, as I'm leaning back, the spider is coming down from the ceiling. So picture me leaning back in a chair, as attractive as that is, but at the same time, the spider is perfectly lined up and almost timed perfectly that it almost lands right in front of my face. So when I lean back, the spider is right in front of me, and of course, I can't really jump out of the way. I have to just basically knock myself out of the chair, or else I'm going to go head first into a spider's cock. So what did I learn from this? Absolutely nothing. But you do think sometimes, did the spider know to land right on my face because he knew I was going to lean back? Or again, it's just me being paranoid and thinking that all these killer spiders are morphing themselves out of the film pictures and just ready to attack us at any point in time? I don't know. But the timing of that is absolutely beautiful. And I really do believe that spiders are that smart. I'm not saying that he wanted to eat my brains that beautiful midnight sky night, but at the same time, you gotta wonder, what are they thinking? Do they know what they're doing, or was it just a pure coincidence? I don't know. But even when you look at a spider's body, I mean, it looks freaky, man. I mean, you know, it's got the 8 legs. It's got the huge Kardashian ass. It's got the, you know, the body, the lots of eyes. I always forget how many eyes. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 8. Two's enough, man. That's all I need. I got the LASIK. I'm good. So let's dig a little bit more into this. Okay, so it shows here, the whole body plan. Okay, so obviously this being an audio podcast, I'm sure these pictures that I'm looking at are going to help. But it says here, spiders are another word. I'm telling you, like I'm really, I thought before I did this podcast, I thought I could read very well. No. Chelicerates. Okay. And therefore arthropods. Okay. So we're getting to learn that word at least. As arthropods, they have segmented bodies with jointed limbs, all covered in a cuticle made of chitin and proteins, heads that are composed of several segments that fuse during the development of the embryo. Being the word I said before, their bodies consist of two tagmata, Abdullah, Amangata, sets of segments that similar functions. The foremost one, called the cephalothorax, I think I said that before, right? Or prosoma, is a complete fusion of the segments that in an insect would form two separate tagmata, the head and thorax. The rear tagma is called the abdomen or opisthosoma. In spiders, the and abdomen are connected by a small cylindrical section, the pedicel. The pattern of segment fusion that forms chelicerates, heads in unique among arthropods, and what would normally be the first head segment disappears at an early stage of development, so that the lack of antenna typical of most arthropods. In fact, only appendages ahead of the mouth are a pair of and they lack anything that would function directly as jaws. Dana. Spider. We're gonna need a bigger boat. At first, appendages behind the mouth are called pedipalps, and different functions within different groups of the So, yeah, I didn't even know that. So the body is constantly growing. Again, it's like humans. Okay, guys, we got nothing to fear here. Okay, they're just like you and me. That's it, That's it. Fuck, I mean, Jesus, what are you guys worried about? Spiders and scorpions are members of one group, the arachnidans. Scorpions, have three sections and are used in feeding. Spiders, have two sections and terminate in fangs that are generally venomous and fold away behind the upper sections while not in use. The upper sections generally have thick beards. Spiders can grow beard? Really? Oh shit, cool. All of a sudden they're Paul Bunyan. That filter solid lumps out of their food, as spiders can take only liquid food. Yeah, we talked about that already, come on. Scorpions, pedipalps generally form large claws for capturing prey, while those of spiders are fairly small appendages, whose bases also act as an extension of the mouth. In addition, those of male spiders have enlarged last sections used for sperm transfer. So spiders have big dicks. Okay, then that's it. You see, again, another reason why we hate them. In spiders, here we go. Cephalothorax and abdomen are joined by a small cylindrical pedicel, which enables the abdomen to move independently when producing silk. The upper surface of the cephalothorax is covered by a single convex carapace, while the underside is covered by two rather flat plates. The abdomen is soft and egg-shaped. It shows no sign of segmentation, except that the primitive mesothelium, whose living members are the Lipfiscidae, I'm almost done, guys, don't worry, have some segmented plates on the upper surface. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm starting to fall asleep too, don't worry. The point is, spiders, okay, they can do a lot of cool shit, okay? Let's just cut to the chase here, okay? The main reason why we're so afraid of spiders is because why we're afraid of anything else. Because they look different than what we look like. Okay? That's it. It's that simple. You go on Wikipedia here, it's going to show you a whole bunch of cool shit. Apparently the lower part of the body is not just the ass. There's a lot of shit going on here too. Yeah, and again, a lot of words I just cannot pronounce here. And again, I'm not going to lie to you. One thing that's always freaked me out about spiders is the whole getting caught in a web thing. Now, again, you know, we've seen the movies. You know, we know if you get trapped in a web, you know, that's your ass. You know, you're basically screwed. I mean, it's got a couple pictures here. Again, you know, you see a spider in your place. You see it does a web. You know, think of it like like a painting that you couldn't afford or you never had the patience to draw. Okay, so just leave it. It looks cool. You know, just tell them, look, it's part of the background, whatever, and that's it. So it's that simple. Okay? And look at these eyes. Look at these freaky fucking eyes. I mean, this is insane. Absolutely insane. Look at this. I'm just going to read a little bit here, just to get the idea here. So it says here, spiders have primarily 4 pairs of eyes. Okay, so that means let's see, 2 times 2, 4. So that's 8 eyes. That's right. And this is some freaky shit, man. I mean, like again, if you look at a spider up close, man, it is fucking crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this on this audio podcast. I mean, look at this. This is insane. Guys, I don't have to tell you about Google, okay? Nobody asks Jeeves anything anymore. Just go on Google. You can see a bunch of these images. Obviously, they got some shit here on Wikipedia. It's pretty crazy, man. Yeah. It's, they even got one picture here. It's kind of like the Mona Lisa. It just like, follows you wherever you go. I mean, this is freaky, So again, not only, can they shoot web at you and, trap you like a mummy, but, they're always watching you. They know. They know. And then look at the legs, too. I don't know. The legs, it looks like, I don't know. They're hairy. I don't know. They look like, I don't know, like Europeans. And this is crazy. I mean, but they don't give a shit about the, hygiene or, Gillette, they just let it grow, man. They don't care. They don't care, I'm sure it's at this point a turn on to them. I mean, you see a woman that, has hairy legs. Who cares? Is that really going to slow you down? It doesn't slow me down. It's not going to slow down the spider. What's the difference? That's it. I mean, her name is Black Widow. Like what? Black Widow, White Widow, I don't care. It just, just go for it. Doesn't matter, She might kill you after, like I said, but who cares? I mean, that's the price we pay, Think of it like you're Michael Douglas in an 80s or 90s movie. I mean, there's a good chance once you have sex with with the opposite sex, she might kill you, or she might stalk you and then kill you. You know, instead of boiling a rabbit, you might have to boil a spider or two. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. The point is, spiders are very unique creatures. They really are. And there's tons of stuff here. I mean, look at this. I mean, like, Dinato Malaka. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, look at this. Look how they trap their victims. Obviously they got the webbing and all that shit, but like, they know what to do. I mean, they will see, a branch, and they know how to connect it from one thing to another. And, the camouflage, that's a huge thing too, which leads me to another very gripping story. Actually, the other day, was it a few weeks ago, whatever. It doesn't matter what year it happened. But I have a thing in my closet where, it's like this long sleeve of, sleeves, and it's beige, so you get to put your shoes in there. Your little knickknacks, your weed, whatever. So then I open it, and I'm going through something. I'm going to get something, probably my weed. And all of a sudden, a spider just comes down. But it's the exact same color as the fucking thing. I mean, exactly. Now, again, did he plan that? Probably. But maybe it's just a fluke. I don't know. Maybe I came across a dumb spider. I don't know. Maybe it's just, by some fluke he mixed in with the thing like a chameleon. And whatever happened to Chameleonaire? I don't know. I heard he, I don't know, he got rich off an app, whatever. The point is, it's really cool how he did it. And I did not see it coming. So again, like, did he see me as an enemy? Was he protecting himself? Again, he was in the closet. Again, a spider's sexual preference is none of my business as long as they're happy. I'm just saying, I mean, that is cool how they can just blend into the background to, get their enemy, aka me. But they shouldn't think of humans as an enemy. But then the irony is we think of them as an enemy because, again, we don't understand them. We don't understand what they're really about. That's why I'm doing this podcast. That and to kill time during COVID. But the point is, a good defense is a good offense. Or as I'm told by Dennis Rodman. And, it's really cool. It's just cool how they can blend in the background and they just, adapt to their situation like humans do. You see what I did there? And socialization, they like to interact as well. It says here they can have colonies up to 50,000 individuals, which I think I mentioned before, but fuck it, I'm going to say it again. You know why? Because it's important to socialize back and forth, I mean, there was another thing where I was laying in bed, just another gripping Saturday. And, I just want to go to bed. I'm tired, life. And I could have sworn I had a spider literally just crawl in the back of my head. And again, you think of all these movies, I'm not going to lie to you. I think of that scene in Species, which Natasha Henstridge is a beautiful woman, but at the same time, this has nothing to do with spiders. And, you think of that scene where, she's kissing the dude and, sure he does drugs, but, do you deserve to die like that? Her whole tongue just blasts through her, the guy's head. And again, I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking, is this is the end? Is this how I'm going to go out? Because I've heard stories where the average human will digest anywhere between, give or take, 8 bugs in their lifetime while they're sleeping. Yeah. Sleep tight tonight, guys. But, yeah, and it was because I turned on the light after, went to the bathroom, and, I had to go pee anyway. And I'm like, yeah, this is a fucking spider. And, shit happens, man. I don't know. Maybe they saw my bald head and I don't know. Maybe they saw the dry skin. Maybe they thought it was the desert. I don't know. But again, it's just instinct, you know. I could have just talked to the spider and just say, hey, what's up, you know? Charlotte's Web style. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You know, hey, what's going on? You know, how are you? Oh, I'm good. You know, I'm just chilling on the farm. Yeah, me too. You know, just waiting for COVID to be done. Yeah, I know. You might as well just stay inside. You know, make some webs. You know, watch some Spider-Man cartoons. You know, just relax. You know, just work on the webs. You know, and I mean, cobweb. I don't. I've always been really fascinated with cobwebs. I don't know about you guys, but it's so cool. I mean, if you ever see like a really good looking cobweb, I mean, some of them look like I don't know. Like the first image that always pops in my mind is Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. You know, like the penitent man will pass. The penitent man will pass. Kneels down before God. Kneel. Thank you. Yeah, obviously that's like probably cotton and shit, but I'm just saying. I mean, you think about like this is how long spiders can live, and this is how like strong the webbing is. I get it; it's a movie, but it's like that in real life too. And interesting fact here, I just saw. It says there seems to be an evolutionary trend towards a reduction in the amount of sticky silk used, leading to its total absence in some species. The construction of cobwebs is less stereotyped than that of orb webs and may take several days. Hey, Rome wasn't built in one day. It takes time, but that's cool, to know that less of it's being used. I mean, they're just trying to save their webbing, for another day. They never know when you're gonna need it. Again, it's a guy thing. The point is, I think it's just really cool how it's constructed. I really do. That's one of the little miracles that Mother Nature created for sure. And these little fuckers can fly too. I mean, well, they can like soar through the air, through like air currents. I actually learned that through Everybody Loves Raymond. When he's arguing with that psycho kid who fucking ate his last cannoli. How the fuck do you eat someone's last cannoli in their own fucking house? But anyways, a kid looked like a Damien. The point is, yeah, again, so, let's just review here. So, they got the extra eyes. They got the extra legs. They can make kick-ass webbing to trap people. They seem to be very friendly. They may or may not give you superpowers. With great power comes great responsibility. I don't know why I gave him an English accent. The point is, the evolution of spiders has come a very long way. It even says here, although the fossil record of spiders is considered poor, almost 1,000 species have been described from fossils. It's actually a pretty cool picture too. It looks like the old man's cane in Jurassic Park there. Well, on a side note, was originally offered to Sean Connery. And then the guy with the hat there, he was supposed to be Harrison Ford, and I don't know, maybe they did it already with the whole Indiana Jones thing. Again, I got Indiana Jones references for days. It's just a matter of time before Indy faces a giant spider. The point is, it's just phenomenal how crazy this species has gone and how long it's lasted. I mean, people talk about cockroaches, if there's ever an atom bomb that drops officially. I'm sure spiders will get wiped out too, but again, they'll probably find some way to survive themselves. Once again, guys, I live near a hospital, and this actually leads me to a very good point. If you do get bit by a spider, actually go to the hospital. Don't be brave. I was just bullshitting about the whole superpowers thing. We're going to get into Spider-Man in a little bit. But, yeah, just don't fuck around, because these guys don't care if you live or die. They're just trying to eat. Speaking of spiders as food, it says here in Cambodia, they cook tarantulas, and it's considered quite the delicacy. So I've yet to try spider. I'm not opposed to it. I'd like to try, a chocolate-covered grasshopper one day. why not throw in a couple spiders, you know? Make it a whole meal, supersize it, whatever. And here's one thing I find interesting. It says here, spiders in culture. Spiders have been the focus of stories and mythologies of various cultures for centuries. Atu, the ancient Sumerian goddess of weaving, was envisioned as a spider spinning her web. According to her main myth, she resisted her father's Enki's sexual advances. Ew, she could, dude. By ensuing herself in her web, but let him in after he promised her fresh produce as a marriage gift. Jesus. Guys, keep in mind, we didn't have, food basics, no frills back then. Good Lord. Anyways, thereby allowing him to intoxicate her with beer and rape her. Oh, Christ. Fuck, they had Harvey Weinstein's back then. Enki's wife, Nin Hersag, heard Utter's screams and rescued her. Thank God. Removing Enki's semen from her vagina and planting it in the ground to produce 8 previously non-existent plants. Oh, jeez. Oh, Madonna. In a story told by the Roman poet Ovid in his Metamorphosis, Arachne was Lydian girl who challenged the goddess Athena. I was waiting when the Greeks were going to tip in here, to a weaving contest. See, weaving, webbing. Okay, I'm okay. You guys are seeing this too, right? Arachne won, but Athena destroyed her tapestry out of jealousy, of course, causing Arachne to hang herself. In an act of mercy, Athena brought Arachne back to life as the first spider. Stories about the trickster spider Anansi are prominent in the folk tales of West Africa and the Caribbean. Whoa. Yeah, that is some good folklore right there, man. Yeah. So, of course the Greeks had to make an appearance in this. Damn, that's crazy. If you go on Wikipedia as well, they got a picture here of a vase, or vase, as some people pronounce it. People. There you go. This Monche ceramic depicts a spider and dates from around 300 CE. Very simple picture, But yeah, I think it would look awesome in my hallway. But yeah, there you go, man. I mean, see, so this goes back to the whole, mythology and all that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And Anansi. Okay, so I was going to talk about this later. I might as well talk about it now. I remember learning about Anansi in grade 6. He was a very cool spider who could morph himself into a human being, and would just again, he was almost like the first Spider-Man. I mean, he could just do whatever. I mean, I'm not saying he could like shoot webs or, he had a redhead girlfriend, but I guess he could if he wanted to. But the guy could do a lot of shit. So again, it just raises the whole mystique that is like the spider. Being this like superhuman folklore. I mean, that's crazy, man. That is pretty cool. They actually made a song about good old Anansi, but I'm gonna save that one for a little bit. But it also says here, in some cultures, spiders have symbolized patience due to their hunting technique of setting webs and waiting for prey, as well as mischief and malice due to their venomous bites. The Italian tarantella. I like how they put the, okay. So we got both my cultures covered, good. Is a dance to rid of the young woman of the lustful effects of a spider bite. Web spinning also caused the association of the spider with Cretan myths, as they seem to have the ability to produce their own worlds. Dream catchers are depictions of spider webs. That is true. You know what? I never even thought of that. Yeah, because, the whole point of a spider web, you're trying to catch the dream. Yeah, okay. I get it. I may not be able to read, but I get it. The Monche, see, told you I can't read. People of ancient Peru worshipped nature. They placed emphasis on animals and often depict spiders in their art. In 2019, the U.S. District Court of Northern Alabama ruled spiders are insects in Robinson versus Liberty Mutual. In 2020, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the ruling. The appeals court stated, Alabama law requires courts to construe the terms of an insurance policy according to their ordinary meaning. So, unless the context suggests otherwise, the terms of a policy should not be given a technical or scientific meaning. The case arose because of Robinson's family home was infested with brown recluse spiders. The family insured their home with Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, and the couple filed a claim to have spider problems remediated. The insurance policy insured against risk to direct use of property, but excluded birds, vermin, rodents, or insects, but did not exclude spiders. Liberty Mutual denies the claim under the exclusions and states spiders are insects. With Robinson's filed a lawsuit, and both courts agreed with the insurance company. There you go. To this day, we still are arguing. Are spiders their own species, or are they just grouped with every other insects, ants, and grasshoppers, and those caterpillars? Those fucking caterpillars. I don't like them. I don't like those fuckers either. Especially those like long flat ones, that have like a fucking trillion legs, and for some reason when you squish them, they're like an extremely bright purple, and it makes me miss Prince, and fuck them. I don't like them. You know what? You guys can kiss my... Listen. We're not here to talk about that. But all I'm saying is, this is how deep the spider conversation goes, okay? It even goes to court, okay? So I just wanted to give you a little insight of what spiders are all about. But are we done this podcast? Not by a fucking long shot. I still got movies. I still got TV shows to talk about, okay? We talked about annoying caterpillars, okay? But let's get into the whole video game aspect of how annoying spiders can be in those fucking games, okay? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm more of an old school gamer. You guys know me. I did the whole top 10 Game Boy and Super Nintendo and Nintendo. Maybe one day I'll do a 64 and how that's a failed system, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about spiders that are annoying in fucking video games, okay? I made a list of 3, and to show you how serious I am, I only made a list of 2. Now, Zelda, okay? We get a bunch of weird spiders in that. It's been part of it since the franchise began, okay? We all know the creator went into a cave one day when he was a kid, and this is how the whole Legend of Zelda started. He was just obsessed with things, finding things and all that shit. And I'm sure when he went to those caves, he definitely saw some spiders, okay? We all know that, all right? We know that. And even for the game, they didn't call it spiders. They called it Goma, which is, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Gohma. Gohma. Everything I say with a Greek, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the knowledge. Okay. Yeah, he's a pussy, the guy. I don't know. I don't have it. Okay. So, that's a cool name. Spiders have always been a pain in the ass in this game. I remember when the Nintendo version came out, you know, you'd go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And, you know, you got to shoot that fucker right in the eye with an arrow, okay? Not a sword, not a bomb, with an arrow, okay? You're welcome. But my biggest pain in the ass when it came to spiders in video games came even before Nintendo. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to date myself here, but this is more of a frustration that I want to help my parents with when they were probably pregnant with me. I don't think my dad has still lost the baby weight, but I'm talking about a little game called Centipede for the Atari system. And it was already a pain in the ass dealing with mushrooms and centipedes, starting from one point and going all the way down. And what else did we have to deal with? A spider. A very annoying spider. Oh, God. That sound still haunts me. And I'll never know if I can get it out of my head. Oh, God. First of all, I don't know what that yellow piece of shit was that was even falling from the sky. Second, when you just hear that sound without the spider, it's so peaceful. It reminds me of this time where I was at a farm and just, you know, enjoying myself and... Wait, what? Again? No. 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 No! Oh. My safety bell. Thank you. The point is, this is another perfect example of spiders being a huge pain in the ass. And yes, keep in mind that certain spiders can jump. They can jump very high. Even when you're trying to kill super centipedes in space. What am I trying to say here? If you ever find a relic that is the Atari system, just be careful. You never know when a spider could come for you. Now, if you excuse me, I have to do one last thing. I heard him. Got my arrow? There he is. Smile, you son of a... There it is. Decent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very crystal clear that I need to get more of a life after all these stupid skits. But everyone knows that I love movies. And of course, there's tons of movies out there with beautiful, big-ass spiders that apparently ride on motorcycles. The point is, which leads me actually to my next point, which involves a guy on a motorcycle trying to defend off spiders in the classic spider-themed movie, Eight-Legged Freaks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to see this movie yesterday for the first time, and I gotta be honest with you, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's no classic or anything, but at the same time, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I always liked David Arquette, part of the whole Arquette family. They all kick ass. And the whole point of this movie is it's a small town called wherever the fuck. And of course, somehow, they don't even explain this. There's a barrel of toxic waste in some random pond that is in some random part of the desert. Again, if you watch this movie and try to make sense of it, you will not enjoy it. But there's also a guy who befriends a kid. This was the early thousands, guys. I guess the whole, thing didn't kick in yet. But anyways, kids were more free to do whatever they want. I mean, obviously they had predators back then, but still, it's a fucking movie. Who cares? The point is, he's got tons of spiders. I think something like 200, and of course, the spiders get free because he's careless. There's always a guy in a movie that's careless and starts a bunch of shit, starts a chain reaction. Then the spiders go out there, get infected by the sewage, and they become super spiders. One of them is called Consula, and the other one is called Tank. I have no fucking idea why, but it is what it is. I thought it was funny in the movie that the one guy was asked, what was that? And he said, Spider, man. So, all I'm trying to say is this. There's tons of stupid movies out there with spiders taking over the world. Tons of them. There's a whole, you could say, Sharknado of these movies. You know why they keep making these movies? They don't cost a lot to make. I mean, $1 million is nothing to make a movie. But if you can make, let's say, give or take 10 million to, over the gross, you made some money. So why not just keep making them? Exactly. So, do I recommend this movie? Absolutely. I think it's a fun little movie. One of those movies you got to turn your brain off and just enjoy the ride. A motorcycle ride. You will see a lot of familiar faces in this movie. You will see the guy who was in the movie I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. I saw the unrated version. That's, I'm assuming it's better. Played by Matt, how do you pronounce his name? C. Zuckery? There you go. Funny guy. Like I said before, you will see David Arquette in this movie. He's basically the main character. He's coming back into town. He's trying to, fix the problems he had before. Your typical, go back to your hometown and that kind of movie. We've all seen that, okay? I just want to say this. I've always liked David Arquette. Most people know him from playing the cop deputy, whatever, in the Scream movies. I will always remember him for the great movie Ready to Rumble with James Caan's kid. Very funny movie. I like that one a lot. Also, as a side note, many side notes coming, he did a great documentary film where he played himself. It's called You Cannot Kill David Arquette. And the whole point of this movie is that he's a huge wrestling fan and he wants to build a career as a wrestler. Now, it sounds crazy, but this is a really good documentary. Very well done. I mean, the guy's got a lot of skill. I'm not as big as a wrestler fan as I used to be. I mean, I liked it in the 80s, 90s, maybe early thousands. But once a lot of key people left, I lost interest. But this is a really good movie. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's just cool to see him get lost in that world. And, these guys got to work their asses off. So absolutely check out that documentary. So he's good in this movie as well, obviously. There's a funny scene with him and the girl there who, he's obviously pursuing. And everything he's thinking of telling her, I may not have a chance to say it again, she says everything. So I thought that was pretty funny because usually it's the other way around in movies. So there you go. Yes, and speaking of that woman, her name is Carrie Wuhrer, Wuhrer. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember her in a lot of movies. Very beautiful woman. She was in a movie with, if you remember the blonde lady that had that fight with Rob Schneider in Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, where they reenact the whole Matrix fighting style shit. The thing, it's sad to say this, but the thing I really remember her from is she did an interview on Conan O'Brien that's, I gotta say, is pretty epic. She was next to the guy that was the dude sleeping on the couch in Half Baked. And I don't know, she showed up on this show, and again, I don't want to judge anybody. It just seems like she's on something. I don't know what it is. If you can go on YouTube and check out this interview, I highly recommend you do. That's the biggest thing I know her for sure. I mean, other than this movie, of course. And surprisingly, I didn't know this, or I totally forgot. Whatever. Scarlett Johansson is actually in this movie, and she plays her daughter. Yeah, so, I mean, she's in a movie with spiders, and then she's going to play, in the future, Black Widow. You see, that was obvious. But still, I mean, that's pretty cool that ended up happening. So, there you go. And, Dougie Doug is in this movie, too. I always liked him. Sanka in Cool Runnings, and in that show about I don't know, the doctor that was, I don't know, for some reason he had his office in his creepy basement. I don't know. Anyways, the point is, this movie's pretty decent. I would check it out when you have a chance. Maybe after this podcast, who knows? Also, arachnophobia, which obviously means the fear of spiders. So, I grew up a kid of the 90s. So basically any movie that was released in the 90s, I saw. And of course, even back then as a kid, I was afraid of spiders. Hence the whole arachnophobia, phobia. And, of course, me being the dickhead that I am, I ignored this fear, and I saw this movie multiple times. I gotta say, it's a great movie. But at the same time, it scared the shit out of me. First of all, the whole point of this movie is some toxic spider, which, again, I found out years later does not exist. There's not a spider that's that big or, whatever. You learn things, with the internet. And, it comes from Australia, which, again, I have nothing against Australia. I've never been there. I don't think I could survive the, 23-hour flight. It's winter there when it's summer here, blah, 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 whatever, all that. I got some good stories one day. I'll tell you about a buddy of mine who went through some crazy shit as a bartender. But anyways, yeah. It got smuggled in there. And again, I'm not surprised because you see some of these stories online, and you see, like these little news little things there where, some kind of Black Widow spider got snuck in with a case of bananas or, a case of tomatoes or vegetables or whatever. But I don't know, when I go shopping, I don't buy fruit or veggies, so I'm good there. But yeah, it's fucking scary. And I think of that shit. I mean, would I like to go to Australia and I don't know, see some kangaroos and see that kick-ass mountain, with the whole lights and all that shit? Cool, why not? But I don't know, man. I think of that jungle. I think of what happened. I don't know. Again, it's a bad stereotype, but I'm just saying, it scares the shit out of me, okay? And then you're watching this movie, and, poor Jeff Daniels, who, by the way, that guy's an awesome actor. He's a very diverse actor. I mean, the guy could do serious roles, or, he could play somebody funny in Dumb and Dumber. Awesome guy. I recommend The Lookout with him and Gordon Levitt. Really good movie. Anyways, yeah, and then, of course, the spider comes there. It's, spreading all the shit everywhere, and then you see all these people dying, and there's just a couple eating popcorn, and of course one of the spiders ends up in the popcorn, and at one point the spider, just kills the people and crawls out of the person's nose, and I don't know, the one Malaka there is playing football, and of course the spider sneaks into the football helmet and bites him in the head. When he's on the field, he's out, and it's fucking crazy, man. But who do you call? Who do you call when you want to wipe these fuckers out? John fucking Goodman. And there you go. That guy was fucking hilarious in this movie. I love John Goodman. I will do a podcast about him one day, I swear. I will forgive him for the very disturbing commercial I saw him in where he actually plays a thumb. I know, it makes no sense. If you got the chance to see it, it's really weird. The point is, he's great in this, and this movie does not help your fear with spiders, hence arachnophobia. But don't worry, at the end, somebody dies, either the spider or Jeff Daniels. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to give it away for you. It's worth seeing. Just go see it. It is a really good movie. And I don't know. I mean, after that, you just saw all these like stupid digital movies about spiders and all that, and I don't know. I can't lose track. I mean, oh God, there's so many. So many. I mean, like I mentioned even before, in the Wild Wild West, they had that mechanical spider, which apparently is an idea that Kevin Smith had, and they ended up stealing it from him. You can see more on that on An Evening with Kevin Smith. He tells the whole story there. He's nothing like Silent Bob. He actually loves to talk. Obviously you got the spider, part human in the new It movie, Chapter 2. Which I like better than Chapter 1, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the first one, the clown in the sewer, I mean, it just him and the Ninja Turtles, whatever, that was creepy. But yeah, even in the original one, the one that was on HBO there, I mean, they had the whole, I guess it was mechanical, whatever. I mean, the whole digital effects didn't kick in yet, so that was freaky as well. I'm told in Harry Potter had to face off against the spider as well. I don't watch that shit, but the spider was named Arog, A-R-A-R-O-G. Cool. Remember the movie Mimic? Yeah, a lot of people don't, but yeah, there were some creepy spiders in that one too. Lord of the Rings, again, I can't get into this shit, but yeah, again, they had to face off against a spider. It was named Shelob. And then there was another spider movie that actually had Steve Guttenberg. I don't think this one was directed by Leonard Nimoy. But yeah, Lava Tarantulas. Whatever. I mean, this is how stupid these movies get. I mean, so not only is the spider scary because it's fucking huge, but at the same time, it spits out lava. Yeah. Anyways, Godzilla, had to face, I mean, Godzilla has faced fucking everything, to this point, from Mothra to very shitty remakes. Yeah, and then, he and the son, which, by the way, if you watch this movie, I laughed my ass off at that one part, because clearly these are people just in, suits, and I don't know, like, was it a kid in the suit? Was it just a smaller man? I don't know. Who cares? It's funny. But the spider was named Kumunga. All right, I don't know where they come up with these names. The Mist, which I love Stephen King, man. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that ending was bullshit. I don't know. I almost got into a fight with a guy at a bar because of it. But anyways, yeah, there's some creepy spiders in that one. Yeah, and of course King Kong, had to fight spiders at one point too. Originally, they wanted to put it in the old school original movie, like a scene where they fight spiders or he fights a spider or whatever. They felt it didn't go with the movie, so the last couple remakes they did, they threw them in there, for nostalgic purposes, and just to see, what it would look like, and just to make the old school fans happy. So there you go. And I don't know. I'm kind of debating this one. I mean, Starship Troopers had a bunch of spiders too. They were called fuck the same word again. Listen, listen. Were they spiders? I don't know. Were they alien spiders or versions of, the spiders as aliens? I don't fucking know. I mean, we all remember the co-op shower scene. The point is, I like that movie. It's one of those movies where you either love it or you hate it. Like, you get that they were making fun of the whole thing, with the whole advertisements, for their army and all that shit. And you got the fucking guy, what's his name? Neil Patrick fucking Harris. That's right. Yeah, good movie. I liked it. I don't care. But hey, remember the alien spider in Alien? Remember, it just jumps on the dude's face or jumped on a lot of people's faces, I guess, and just, I don't know, sucked out their soul, I guess, or took it over. And I don't know, the guy is eating dinner, and then maybe that's another version of the thing, like, all that shit. And, that was cool too, man. I liked it. I liked it. I really did. One thing I would love to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is my childhood and how, on top of arachnophobia, another movie that scared me off spiders for basically the rest of my life is a little movie called Home Alone. Now, obviously Home Alone is not a spider movie, but it does contain a spider. Okay, his brother Buzz, for some reason, is a huge asshole. And yeah, most assholes probably have a pet spider. And of course, the shit, breaks free because, Kevin just, wanted to look through his shit, his Playboys. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. By the way, that was actually one of the producer's kids, who's a guy that dressed up as a woman. So, yeah, that explains that. So the tarantula, ends up getting, free there. And, it's, Buzz, wasn't worried about feeding it. He said, I gave him a bunch of guts or some shit. I don't know, who cares? And the point is, how did Daniel Stern keep his cool while having a fucking live spider on his face? And yes, it was a live spider. And guess what, guys? The spider was actually poisonous. Because apparently if you take out the poison, ass, you'll kill it. It's like when a bee, stings a human and, they just die. That's happened to me fucking many times. It happens every time I go to Greece for some reason. I'll get into that another time. But, so, being the brave man that he is, Daniel Stern is a brave motherfucker for doing this. I just want to give him his props because I didn't know that until I did my research for this. I will always love him for these movies and Born in Easton, LA, which is awesome. A lot of people consider that a Cheech and Chong movie. Tommy Chong, a lot of times even people come up to him and go, yeah, I love Born in East LA. And he says, I had nothing to do with that movie. So that's funny. Anyways, sidetrack, guys. Come on, please. So they had one take to do it, they could have done it more, but he said, look, fuck, it's a real spider. I'm doing it once and that's it. So when they put the spider on his head and he's screaming, it's actually dubbed in later because they said the noise would affect the spider and, the spider could freak out and, kill you. So, yeah, but still, you got to give him a lot of props for just putting up with that shit. And again, you're a kid, and I think I'm Macaulay Culkin's age, So again, you wonder if these fucking spiders are just, again, you hear about these stories about, snakes coming out of the toilet. Like, you don't know, if these snakes are going to fucking pop out of nowhere. So again, just tell your brother, if you have a brother, even if you have a sister, or a crazy stepfather. Tell him no spiders in the house. Thank you. God bless. Now, one of the most recognizable spiders that I grew up with as a kid, ladies and gentlemen, was Spider from Goodfellas. Now, I know what you're going to say. This guy has nothing to do with spiders, but I disagree. Apparently, they nicknamed him Spider because he had very long arms and legs. Now, this role was played by Michael Imperioli, who I want to give a shout out to, who is an awesome actor. I've enjoyed him in a lot of things over the years, not just Sopranos. Obviously, he was in Sopranos. We all know this. I'm a huge Soprano fan. He has a great podcast with him and Bobby Bacalari. Okay? We all know this. Okay? If you're not listening to it, what the fuck are you doing? Okay? Listen to two podcasts, mine and theirs. That's it. Now, apparently, according to Henry Hill, who obviously was played by the great Ray Liotta, and yes, of course, Robert De Niro played Jimmy. Spider's real name was Michael Gianco, and he became an associate with the Lucchese family sometime in the 1960s. He mostly served the crew drinks during their card games, and one bad night he was shot on the thigh when Tommy, whose real last name was DeSimone, ordered him to dance. So there you go. He actually didn't shoot him in the foot. He shot him in the leg. And yeah, he had to have the whole leg cast. And yeah, as seen in the movie, I mean, it's just his foot that's covered up. I mean, it makes it look more funny, I guess, whatever. And it is kind of funny, too, because in The Sopranos at one point, Christopher ends up shooting a guy in the foot, and you know, he says, it happens. So I mean, it's kind of a reference to that. And then there's another time in The Sopranos where he gets you know, his foot broken because he hits it on the door, and he said, oh no, I've been to the hospital, they just bandage it up. So again, a reference to that. So once again, this has literally nothing to do with spiders. I just wanted to throw this in because I'm a big Goodfellas fan. And again, it's my podcast. I can do what I want. So there you go. But yeah, that's why he was named Spider. I never knew that. And again, Henry Hill said that the way it went down in the movie was pretty accurate. So yeah. So yeah. I don't know. It also said that Spider would start off his day just drinking Zambuca, and then he would still work. And he started doing this at the age of 16. So, yeah, you know, you got to be you got to be careful in this line of business, and be careful what you say.
Fucking bullshit, you. Tell the truth. You're looking for sympathy. Is that it, sweetie?
Why don't you go fuck yourself, Tom?
Fucking you're right. I don't believe what I just heard. Hey, Spider, hey, this is for you. Now, boy. I got respect for this because you're a lot of fucking balls. Good for you. Don't take no shit off nobody. He shoots him in the foot. He doesn't go fucking.
Sorry, I usually don't interrupt a classic scene like this, but I mean, the guy is literally behind the bar just shitting bricks. I mean, this is. I'm gonna do a podcast one day about Goodfellas. Don't worry, guys. I'm just. This is just an awesome movie.
You let this fucking punk get away with that? What's the world coming to?
What the fucking world is coming to? Right like that. How's that, all right?
What's the fucking matter with you? What is the fucking matter with you? What are you, stupid or what? Tom, I'm kidding with you. What the fuck are you doing? Are you a fucking sick maniac?
Growing up, you're kidding. What do you mean you're kidding? You're breaking my fucking balls?
I'm fucking kidding with you. You fucking shoot the guy?
He's dead.
Thank you for that Update, Henry. First of all, I find it very hard to believe that the most violent thing that Henry Hill did in this movie is punch some guy in the back of a car. Again, we'll get into that another day. But yes, the point of me playing this clip, ladies and gentlemen, is that not only if you are an actual spider, insect, or your own race of creation, you could be in trouble, with someone stepping on your foot. But if you're human and you're named Spider, it could cost you your life. Did Joe Pesci overreact a little bit? Yes, but again, you got to be careful in life. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Good shot. Good shot.
This.
Well, you got a problem with what I did, Anthony?
No, hey, Joe.
Fucking rat anyway. His whole family's all rats. Would have grown up to be a rat.
You stupid bastard. I can't fucking believe you. Now you're gonna dig the fucking thing up. You're gonna dig the hole. You're gonna do it. I got no fucking line. You're gonna do
Fuck kids. I'll dig the fucking hole. I don't give a fuck. But the first hole I dug? First time I dug a hole, I'll dig the fucking hole. Where are the shovels?
Human or insect, spiders are always in danger and could always use a little sympathy. What I don't have sympathy for when it comes to spiders is when I'm totally naked. Sorry for that image. But I'm about to step into the shower, and what do I see? A big ass spider. Now, how the fuck did it get in there? Who knows? I have a window in my shower. That doesn't give you guys the right to peek in when I'm showering. I'm just saying. It's an older building. But what do you do? I mean, do you squish it? Do you, use the old school toilet paper method? Or do you just turn on the water and just watch it swim? Can a spider swim? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't know. I would look it up, but I'm too tired. But I'm pretty sure that a spider can't swim. So, I'm just saying to all the spiders out there, if you could please stay the fuck out of my shower. Okay, I'm going to do a podcast about showers one day. And it's a very peaceful place for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, for many different reasons. We sing, we dance, whatever. Stay out of there, okay? It's my business, not yours. It's meant for 2 legs, not 8. Another person I've always had sympathy for is the classic Spider-Man. Now, obviously I could do a whole podcast about Spider-Man, so I'm not going to dig that deep into the whole Spider-Man world. Okay, we all know the cartoons and movies, but the best thing I can find here is a little website called ScreenRant.com, and they listed every Spider-Man movie and cartoon series ranked, and this is according to IMDb. Why IMDb? Because Rotten Tomatoes is... So, let's begin. Okay, we got number 15. We got Spider-Man, the recent cartoon, which is 2017 and on. Doesn't have the best rating, 6.1. I've never really seen this one. It's hard to keep track of all these cartoons and cartoon movies that come out. I'm assuming it's good. But according to IMDb, it's not that good. Speaking of not that good, and I'm actually being really nice about this, is Spider-Man 3. Now, that's the one with Tobey Maguire. Oh, fuck. All I'll say is this. I got nothing against Topher Grace. I saw him recently in an episode of the new Twilight Zone. I thought he was great in that. But is this really the best person we could think of to play Venom? And again, I already did a podcast about Venom. I'm really hoping that the new movie coming out is going to be better than the last one. That's a story for another time. But, oh, Jesus. Yeah, this movie just, I don't know. It still made a shit ton of money. I think it made, I don't think it made the most amount of money out of the 3 with Tobey, but I mean, still made a lot of money. Obviously, anything with Spider-Man will. But is this the movie we wanted, especially to end the franchise? No, absolutely not. I just, yeah, wasn't good, man. Why the fuck is Spider-Man dancing? You know, I get it. Toby. I mean, you read the script, you're like, I'm gonna get a shit ton of money. You probably signed on for 3 pictures. Now you got no choice but to dance. But I mean, dude, come on, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying you got to reenact the tango scene from Son of a Woman or anything, but I mean, come on, man. Like this. Fuck. Anyways, 14, Spider-Man Unlimited, came out in 1999. They gave it a 6.5 rating. I've never seen this. I could tell by the picture. I probably never will. I don't like the way it's drawn. I don't know. I guess they're trying to do something more futuristic, I guess. I don't know. 13, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. First of all, with this one with Andrew Garfield, I mean, we're really stretching out the word amazing. This one was just probably the worst Spider-Man movie ever. Horrible. Horrible. I mean, they tried to make it into a love story. Fuck, man. Again, I'm gonna talk about this another time. It's just, it's just too painful. Spider-Man, you deserve way better, man. I'm sorry. Hey, I got an idea. Let's make a 2-hour shitty love story movie that should have action, but instead we're gonna put the last minute of action, with the Rhino dude right at the end, and then we're gonna cut it right at the end, right when the movie gets good. Reminds me of that fucking Johnny Depp movie where, I don't know, he goes to hell and then he goes into hell and that's where you end the movie. Fuck. Anyways, 12, The Amazing Spider-Man. Again, I don't think it's that much more amazing. 6.9 rating. I think that's being very generous. I mean, this one was okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. In all honesty, I didn't like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I really didn't. I think he's a really good actor. Hacksaw Ridge was great. He was great in Social Network. But I don't know. Him as Spider-Man, nah, it just doesn't work. I remember in that movie, the distinct scene I remember, he was skateboarding. I don't. And again, you want to skateboard, that's cool. Tony Hawk is awesome. I loved playing those games growing up. But I don't. Was Spider-Man a skater? I don't know. Like, does that? I'm just not buying this shit. I don't know. I don't. No. 11, Spider-Man, the new animated series, 2003. I did not. I didn't see this one either. Neil Patrick Harris apparently plays the voice. Looks like it says. I thought the guy from. I thought Freddie Prinze's kid, Freddie Prinze Jr. played the voice in one of these cartoons. I don't know. Originally, he wanted to be the original Spider-Man before Tobey Maguire. So did Josh Hartnett, apparently. I think they definitely made the right decision picking Tobey, for sure. Number 10, Ultimate Spider-Man, another cartoon, 2012 to 2017. Got a pretty decent rating. Looks more like the traditional Spider-Man. There you go. Number 9, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. They seem amazing to me. Ran from 1981 to 1983. Got a pretty good rating, 7.2. I was able to catch a couple of these growing up. I liked it. That was pretty good. Number 8, Spider-Man 2. Why is this only number 8? I would love to know what is about to come ahead, but I don't know. In my opinion, again, it's the one with Tobey Maguire. Let's not get it twisted. This is by far the best Spider-Man movie ever, okay? Not the first one, definitely not the third one. The second one is the best one. Again, I'd like to get more into it, but this podcast has already gone an hour and a half. So if you haven't fallen asleep yet, thank you. And yeah, no, if you're going to see any Spider-Man movie, just one in your lifetime, you got to see this one. That's all I'll say. He's just a kid. Number 7, Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey Maguire. Still a good movie. I got nothing against Macy Gray, don't get me wrong. I just always thought it was weird that they picked her I guess she was popular at the time and gotta talk away and crumble, whatever. I got nothing against her. She was good in Training Day too. I'm just saying it seems kind of outdated with that. I mean, I don't know. But overall, great movie. like I said, the great line in that: with great power comes great responsibility. And yeah, this is something that a lot of people waited for a very long time to see, a real serious Spider-Man movie, and they did do a great job of this. I'm just saying the second one is better. That's all I'm saying. Then you got Spider-Man from 1967. Fuck, I'm cursed with that number forever. To 1970. Oh yeah.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever Spider-Man. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Here we go. Classic theme song. One of the best theme songs, I was going to say TV show, but maybe just of all time in history. It is fucking awesome. Man, it's a cool little cartoon. I mean, for the time, I don't know, it looked pretty good. I just regret it came out in 1967, but fucking Leafs. Anyways, what are we going to do with Mitch Marner? Anyways, the point is, great cartoon, awesome. Spider-Man Homecoming, after the disaster that was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, we had to fix this shit. So now we got the new guy coming in there, Tom Holland. Basically, when I saw this movie, he reminded me a lot of Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. He's kind of got that look. He's got that vibe. Even kind of sounds like him. I mean, I can't be the only one to think this. So, but again, they did a great job with this movie. The second one, is still good, which is number 4, Spider-Man: Far From Home. They ranked it higher than the first one, which I don't know about that. I don't. I think the first one's definitely better, but I don't know. It's off by 0.1 point, so teach his own. Number 3, The Spectacular Spider-Man, which is a cartoon that ran between 2008 and 2009. Very high rating, 8.1, but only had 1 season, maybe 2. I don't know. Makes you wonder why they didn't make more. Spider-Man, number 2, Spider-Man, the animated series, 94 to 98. That's 1994 to 1998. I don't want to get it confused here with people. Yeah, very good cartoon. I do remember this one more because I was a kid of the 90s. Very good cartoon. And number 1, Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse, which is number 1 for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, obviously you can get away with more in a cartoon, I guess. Well, but then again, if you got special effect, I mean, number 1, really? I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong, but is it better than Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, really? I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. But, yeah. He is just a itsy-bitsy spider, He is a guy who got, somehow bitten by a radioactive spider and then woke up with superpowers, But the concept of Spider-Man was always cool, I always thought. Because, again, I mentioned it before. That's why I love part 2, because they just mention, him just being a kid. And I never really thought of that. I mean, so imagine having all that power, and you're still in high school, So that's always been the cool concept of Spider-Man. I think that's always been the biggest appeal. So I think that's why it's always been really popular. So, yeah, They're going to keep making more, obviously, because these movies make tons of fucking money, okay? It's like I said with all the other movies he's in with the Avengers, whatever. Everybody died at the end of that movie. The movie made over $3 billion. I even told my dad, trust me, nobody's dying, okay? When you make that much money, no one is going. So you pay whatever Robert Downey Jr. wants and get him back, because I don't know who the fuck is going to play Iron Man. But anyways, those are probably the most popular characters, or just popular character of the whole Spider universe is Spider-Man. I mean, No one's gonna argue that, right? I mean, there's not like another spider out there that has powers, does he? Or it's not like a Coke and Pepsi thing. But anyways, also I wanted to mention I did sing that song beautifully earlier, Itsy Bitsy Spider, which I mean, according to Wikipedia here, is also known as Incy Wincy Spider in Australia. See, again, Australia, I'm telling you, like, they got so many. And you know what? That's another fucking scary thing too. If you Google spiders or big ass insects that invade these people's home, like, I'm never going to Australia again. I got nothing against you people. Nothing. I grew up with Dunkaroos and all that shit and Crocodile Dundee. It's all good, but the infestation is fucking insane. It really is. It's no bullshit. It's gonna be like that scene in Train Spotting where, I don't know, the baby's climbing the wall and just twists his head and scares the shit out of the person there. I mean, instead just picture spiders. I mean, that's what it's like. Fuck that. But anyways, it says they say it in Australia and Great Britain and several other similar sounding names is a popular nursery rhyme and finger play that describes the adventures of a spider as it ascends, descends, and reascends the downspout or waterspout of a gutter system, or alternatively the spout of a teapot or open air reservoir. I'm thinking, like, is this like a psychological poem where, like he, like it's kind of like one of those things where, at first you don't succeed, try again, like he went up the shit and then, or like he was there, but then he got wiped out, but then he has to keep going or something. I've been doing this podcast way too long. I'm really overthinking this, but it's possible, right? Probably. It is usually accompanied by a sequence of gestures that mimic the words of the song. Its Roud Folk Song Index number is 11586. What the fuck that means, I have no idea. But it says here, sources of the song can be found in publications, including an alternative version in the book Camp and Cameo in Lower California, which was written in 1910, where it was referred to as the classic Spider Song. It appears to be a different version of this song using blooming, bloody instead of itsy bitsy. It was later published in one of its several modern versions in Western folklore by the California Folklore Society in 1948. Mike and Peggy Siegler's American Folk Songs for Children, which was also written in 1948. Wow, that's okay. It says here, lyrics as described in 1910 as being from the classic Spider Song. Oh, the blooming bloody spider went up the spider web. The blooming bloody rain came down and washed the spider out. The blooming bloody sun came out and dried up all the rain. And the blooming bloody spider came up the web again. Now, I can't tell if this is like an R-rated version of this song, or is it like kind of a, as the bloody rain came down and washed the spider out, bloody sun came out and dried up all the rain, bloody spider came up the web again. Is it just supposed to be like that, or, I don't know. I don't know. That's for you to decide. I'm tired. Then it says the song is sung by and for children, not that one, in countless languages and cultures. It is similar of the medleys of the children's song Ouf de More, Ouf de Lore, and Spannenlangre Hansel. Hansel? Hansel? In German-speaking countries. Okay, there you go. Yep, I was right. Okay. So, It's the German version, so yeah, I'm gonna assume it's the more violent version. No offense, it's just the reputation you guys have, and I'm just saying. I'm just kidding around, guys. Don't 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 do anything stupid. Now, that's crazy. I'm gonna stick to the original version. I don't want to scare the shit out of people, and all right then. But there's many other songs about spiders. I haven't heard of any of these. Spiders and Snakes by Jim Stafford. The Who, Boris the Spider. I love The Who. Toy Dolls, Spiders in the Dressing Room. Spiders and Vine Garoons, Queens of the Stone Age. I know those guys, those are cool too. Spiders, Kids Smoke by Wilco. Spider in My Room, Bare Naked Ladies. Miss those guys, man. I think they're still touring, but I don't know. I saw the guy with the glasses one day at Papa's Grill on Danforth when I was younger. Seemed like a good guy. Sexy Ida, Ike and Tina Turner. That didn't end well. Spider Head, sorry. By Cage the Elephant. What? Oh yeah. So again, I've never heard of any of these songs. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the one song I do remember growing up about spiders is by the group named No Doubt, and the song is called Spiderwebs. Sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking into spiderwebs. So leave a message and I'll call you back. A likely story, but leave a message and I'll call you back. So let me try to dissect this for those of you who can't figure this out. When you're caught in a spider web, it can mean many things, let's be honest. It could mean that you're got a lot of problems going on, you're in the middle of something, you don't feel like dealing with shit, and for those of you listening that don't know what a voicemail is, I did a whole podcast about that. But basically, back in the day when you called somebody, and again, if you're a younger person listening and you don't know what a phone call is, let me just group it all in together. So when you're not texting and posting bullshit on Instagram or doing a stupid dance on TikTok, you would call somebody and then, it would ring, and then you would leave them a message. And that would also involve you talking, hey, what's going on? I'm dealing with some spiders, just leave a message and I'll call you back, beep. And that's it. So I always like these guys. Cool group, Gwen Stefani obviously, has many successes after this group. Hollaback Girl, produced by Pharrell Williams, who I just found out recently, apparently, I don't know, they were in the studio together for a week. They recorded 2 songs. They were never used. And then the last song was Hollaback Girl. And then the rest is history. So, yeah, very cool song. The whole concept of, back then, she was more of a rock girl, and, she had all the cool tattoos and all that shit. And it was the 90s, man, grunge and all that shit. And it was all right, man. It was pretty cool. So, the whole concept of spiders, it was scary, but, accepted at the same time. Not that spiders aren't accepted today, but, just the whole concept of being trapped in something, Remember rock music? I do. Will it make a comeback? I don't know. Maybe. But in the meantime, we still have this song. It's a very cool song, and if you've never listened to it, I urge you to listen to it. Not that song. I should do a podcast on where did Akon go. But yeah, check it out. You'll love it. Or if music isn't your thing, you could read a book about a spider. I've read about 6 books in my lifetime, and the way I pronounce words on this podcast, I think that's pretty obvious. But I did grow up with a few cool books. Now, there's one book that's called The Very Busy Spider, and the animation is really cool. I mean, it's very artsy, you know, the way they do it with the colors and all that. And they made a book about caterpillars as well, I believe, with the same artist. That was pretty cool. Obviously, you can go back to National Geographic's. You know, they covered a lot about spiders as well. I'm sure they can pronounce their words way better than I can. Another book called Diary of a Spider, which I find kind of interesting because it shows a spider in what seems to be like a lid of a tin or a jar or whatever. So, I mean, that answers my question before. I guess, yeah, spiders can't swim. Be nice to spiders. That's true. You know, never know which ones are gonna, you know, kill you in the middle of the night. But the book I remember the most, and obviously they did make a movie about this too, and that's where I learned the majority of it. But I still enjoyed the book as well, you know, or at least a couple pages of it. A little book called Charlotte's Web. Now, the whole point of this story is basically, you know, it's about a girl who has a farm, and you know, the pig, you know, becomes friends with Charlotte, hence Charlotte's Web. And you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like most children's books, it kind of ends kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. It got me a little teary eyed. You know, even thinking about it right now. Shut up. The point is, this is a very good book, very classic children's read. I always like the cover too, you know, because you got the girl, the pig, and the lamb looking at the spider, and then I don't know, you got the was it a duck or a goose? I don't know. He seems, I don't know, he looks hungry. I don't know, either that or I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's a shocked face. I don't know. But ducks do eat a lot of bugs, so I Charlotte, watch your back. But the point is, this is a very good book, very touching. If I could recommend one book about spiders, it would be this one. And I'm not going to give a lot away because I'm going to be honest with you. I just remember that sad ending, man. I mean, that was, you know, it's like when you watch a Disney movie and you're having a good time, and then, you know, the first 20 minutes, you know, someone's got to go. You know, just, hey, man, it's life. Things happen, man. Anyways, the point is, you know, this is this has been a good podcast, you know, about learning about spiders and, you know, learning that they're our friend, and, you know, even if they show up randomly in your bathtub, and, you know, just watch out for spiders. That's all. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. You know, I mean, they got feelings too. You know, I mean, even in those old movies, you know, I didn't mention this before, but the tarantula in 1955 and the giant spider invasion in 1975. You know, they just, I don't know if you guys know this. The spiders aren't that size. I mean, they actually just, you know, have them from a distance. You know, from a distance, and they just. You know, they make look the spider bigger. That's all. You know, they make them look bigger. That's all. I just wanted to throw that in there. Then there's a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal too. That I don't know. I don't know if I'm giving away the ending here. So spoiler alert. I don't know. I never saw this movie. It looks trippy. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know. It looks like he has a pet spider or something in his room, and I don't know, on the cover, you can see the spider, and, you know, I get a little worried because, you know, I'm seeing, you know, I'm from Toronto, so I'm seeing that CN Tower there, and I don't know if the spider sees that as a, you know, like lunch or a toothpick, but, you know, stay the fuck away, man. That's our shit. Who, you, Drake? Fuck off. I'm gonna send Anansi on your ass. Oh yeah, I forgot to finish that one. So Anansi, and it says here, literally translates to spider, is an Akon Not that Akon. I'm not Akan. That's close though. Folktale character. He often takes the shape of a spider and is sometimes considered to be a god of all knowledge of stories. Taking the role of trickster, he is also one of the most important characters of West African, African American, and Caribbean folklore. Originating in West Africa, these spider tales were transmitted to the Caribbean by the way of transatlantic slave trade. Anansi is most well known for his ability to outsmart and triumph over more powerful opponents through his use of cunning, creativity, and wit. Despite taking on the role of a trickster, Anansi's actions and parables often carry him as protagonist due to his ability to transform his apparent weaknesses into virtues. He is among several West African tricksters, including Brer Rabbit and Leuk Rabbit. I hope I said that right. But yeah, you can see by the picture here, this guy doesn't fuck around, man. So, again, I'm gonna talk about Jake Gyllenhaal one day because I got a couple things I gotta say about him. Not that I don't like the guy. I'm just saying some of his movie choices are kind of weird, but good at the same time. My point is, Jake, I don't know what you plan on doing with that snake in your house, but me and Anansi, we don't play that shit. Okay, so where's he gonna go to the bathroom? Did you think of that? Does he shoot lava too? Is he friends with Steve Gutenberg? 3 Men and a Baby? Boys will be boys. Boys say, boys say. You know they're gonna remake that shit with Zac Efron? Oh, God. The point is, there's so much that we don't know about spiders. But we're learning as we go. And I hope that I helped you guys out a little bit today and gave you a little bit more insight about what spiders are really all about. And like I said, even to this day, I am still afraid of spiders. And this is something that's definitely going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I mean, there's tons of spiders out there, like I said before. But the scariest one that I found, and this is just my personal opinion, is one called the false widow. Now, if you see this spider, I mean, again, it looks kind of small. But, I mean, the craziest thing about this spider is that on its ass, it literally looks like it has a tattoo of a skull. Like, this looks almost made up. I had to do my research. This looks insane. And the skull looks like the skull on the butterfly from Silence of the Lambs. Like, it looks too good to be true, honestly. Like, it looks insane. And it says here a little bit about the false widow, as opposed to the real one. The noble false widow, usually called just false widow, gets his name because it can be mistaken for a more dangerous black widow. They're about 10 millimeters, dark brown, with a swollen body. It's the most poisonous spider in the UK. The false widow's venom can cause pain, swelling, numbness, discomfort, burning, chest pain, and nausea. If the bite gets infected, it could even lead to gangrene. But is it deadly? Nope. Experts say there's no way a false widow bite can produce an infection bad enough to prove fatal, and only female false widows can actually cause any pain. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced. I mean, it sounds like it can definitely fuck you up. And what's even weirder is if you look at the spiders in Zelda 64 there, the first one, Ocarina of Time, it looks like it has the exact same fucking skull face. So, I mean, obviously they must have taken the idea from that. I mean, that's pretty cool. But Yeah, man. I mean, these are some scary motherfuckers, man. Again, I'm, you know, yeah, I'm not going to Australia. I'm not going to the UK. I don't want to live in Florida for obvious reasons. The point is, this is just, it's insane. It really is. And again, like, if you stay out of these areas, I'm assuming you'll never come across these spiders. But again, one could be in your, gift fruit basket one day, and surprise, yeah, just be careful out there. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, for the most part, I think a spider is mostly been misunderstood. Mostly, but again, I don't fucking trust them. And another reason why I will never, ever, ever, ever trust spiders is because when I got my first apartment, it was a basement apartment, like most people get when they first moved out, and I'm just going outside for a smoke. Just want to enjoy a lovely fresh summer day by inhaling tobacco. And then I come back inside, and I mean, it was an older place, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was one of those basements where there's certain parts where there could be a piece of Jimmy Hoffa, like you don't know, and there's all these old bricks, and there's the holes in them, whatever, and all of a sudden I see something, and to me it absolutely is a spider, but it's not a spider I've ever seen before in my life. The best way I can describe it is it had just picture like a clear container, a Tupperware container. It was basically made of that. It was just like the whole body was clear except for its ass, which it basically looked like like a pistachio, and but it was just so freaky looking. Like it looked like something out of like a shitty green screen movie. Like it was clear. It looked. You know what? To be honest with you, it actually looked pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I'm just blown away. I'm sitting in front of this, and at the same time, you're like, wow, this is really cool. Like I don't know why this is here, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck this. So I just stepped on it. And I remember stepping on it, and picture like when you go to a ball game and you just step over, a million peanuts. That's what it sounded like. That crunch sound. I mean, like even to this day, like that sound is still in my head. And I don't know, like I think the ass was still there, but the body somehow evaporated into my shoe, and I'm just wondering, like, what the fuck. Like what did I just kill? I mean, did I save the human race? Like, what the fuck just happened? So I tried to look up like something that looked remotely close to this. And the scary thing is the closest thing that I could find was two things. Either one, it's called a yellow sac spider, or the other one is called a tiny white spider. And if you guys Google this shit, I mean, it looks pretty trippy. I mean, like I said, it's crystal clear. The size of the yellow sac spider is said about the size of a U.S. nickel, with legs outstretched, tan legs with head yellow, abdomen. Features low, flat spiders. Does not build a web. I mean, I don't know. When you look that cool, I guess you don't have to. The yellow sac spider is commonly found in homes, and it is often mistaken for the brown recluse because it is similar in shape. But the yellow sac spider lacks the fiddle pattern of the brown rescue. Also, the sac spider has 8 eyes instead of 6. The bite of a yellow sac spider can be painful, but it is not medically significant except to the allergic individuals. So not only am I messing with a spider that can just blend into the background and looks cool as shit, but now it's got even 8 eyes instead of 6. So, do I regret killing it? No, I don't. you know. And then the other one here, the tiny white spider, which fuck. I mean, like it says it's found in Texas, United States of America. Like how the fuck did it end up in Toronto? Description: 1 centimeter in diameter, including legs. Body about 5 millimeters long. Darker striations on thorax and faint pattern on abdomen. So, I mean, this is the scary thing because they both kind of look like the bug I remember. I mean, keep in mind, guys, this is like over, like 15 years ago. But I would say it's more closer to the tiny white spider. But again, it says it's located in Texas. I mean, it was wearing a cowboy hat, so I guess that was a dead giveaway. But still, I mean, how the fuck did it end up here? I mean, that's the closest one I could find. So if anybody can think of another spider that this, could be, that was invading my territory, please let me know in the comment section below. But it's crazy. I mean, it's, again, like this does not help the whole fear of spiders, hence arachnophobia. It does not help at all, guys. It doesn't. But at the same time, let's just keep in mind that spiders are just here to enjoy a little thing called life. And, again, unless it's in my way or, eating my food, I don't care. You guys can do what you want. It's fine. It's all good. What's also good is ending the podcast in a nice song by Raffi. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I grew up watching The Simpsons when they were still good. And I remember at one point, Danny DeVito played Homer's brother, and he invented a machine that could actually translate what a baby says. And he made a joke saying, even if the baby says, you turn off that damn Raffi record. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know who Raffi was then. I just found out yesterday who Raffi is. So, according to Wikipedia, thank you very much. Once again, you saved my ass. And Raffi Kavokian, known professionally by the mononym Raffi, he was born July 8th, 1948, is a Canadian singer, lyricist, and author of Armenian descent, born in Egypt, best known for his children's music. Okay, so that makes sense. So obviously he was referring to kids, singing, crazy songs again and again and again. This is why I don't want kids, because they're just going to repeat the same shit again. Sharky. Shut up. And he developed his career as a global troubadour to become a music producer, author, entrepreneur, and founder of the Raffi Foundation for Child Honoring, a vision for global restoration. There we go. Another proud Canadian. So, since I'm Canadian, this works out perfect. So, he came out with a song called Anansi off his record Raffi, The Corner Grocery Store. Sing if you know the words.
Anansi, he is a spider. Anansi, he is a man. Anansi, he is a lazy one. Do little as we can. Yeah, do little as we can.
Okay, you know what? It's a good song, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I can't put up with any more spider shit. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm going to lose my mind. All right? We're stuck in quarantine here still. Things are getting better, but I mean, there's so many folklore shit I can take. So, and I'll give you an idea how much of a pain in the ass quarantine can actually be. And this is how lazy some of us have gotten. And I dare anybody to be this lazy, or as lazy as I have been the last little while. Right before I was about to go to bed, I felt something on my stomach. And I looked down, and it's a spider. I say that to say this. We have to get out more and do shit. Okay? So, next time you're afraid of something, next time you're afraid of something that has more legs and eyes than you and you think is just out to get you, and you're sick and tired of all the cobwebs all over your apartment, and just stop for a second and really think about your life. Maybe a spider is just a way of telling you to get off your ass, and the cobwebs are a symbol of how you've let things go, and you gotta clean up more and buy a broom and have a shower, and don't be afraid to leave the house, and just get rid of the cobwebs, and not just physically but emotionally out of your life. And maybe this tiny little insect is not out to get you, it's actually here to help you. Maybe it's a way of protecting you, and on top of that, even showing you how you should live your life and always be moving and be aware, and don't be a chicken shit like AJ Soprano, and don't be afraid to stand up to the little species that has been around far more generations than your family has, and have your father tell you, it's a leaf, you freaking idiot. He meant to say fucking, we all know that. But the point is, all it is one of many God's creatures. So the next time you see it, next time you're taking a shit and you see him or her looking at you, just remember, it's only a spider.